Well, it was 1993, and my daughter was getting ready to start kindergarten, and we lived in Dallas, Texas at the time. And the Dallas, Texas public school system was having some problems at that time, and my husband and I knew that that wasn't an option for us, and so we started thinking about private school. And we visited a couple private schools, and we realized right away that there was no way we were going to be able to afford the tuition. Knowing that we were not going to do public school, and knowing that private school was out of the question, we began to think and to pray about what to do. And it was about that time a friend of mine came up and said, have you ever considered homeschooling? And I was like, oh, no, that's just not for us. I admire those that can do it. And I went through the whole spiel of, I think it's wonderful for them, but for our family, that just wouldn't work. And she just said, why? And I can remember I went home and I just started thinking about that. Well, why wouldn't it work for us? And why am I so close-minded to this? And so I started to pray about it, and I started to do some research. And God put some good friends in our path at that time, and that homeschooled, and that allowed us to come over to their house and ask them questions and see their children and how they were interacting with each other, and just all of those wonderful things that we saw there and in them. When my husband and I left their house that day, we looked at each other and we said, well, we'll give it a try. For 1 year, we'll give it a try. And anyway, we began our homeschool journey that year. Through these years, I have seen how God has used homeschooling my children to, I say, educate me, because I have learned so much. I feel like I have received a better education than I had ever received before in the time that I spent homeschooling my children, and even still homeschooling them today. On top of that, the spiritual growth has been incredible, because you learn real quick that you're not in control. And you learn real fast that these little kids have brains of their own and minds of their own, and they want to do and think for themselves, and they don't want to follow your plan all the time. And so for someone like me who likes to have all my ducks in a row and be very organized, and I like everyone to follow my plan, it's very humbling, and the Lord has taught me a lot about letting go through my years of homeschooling. And now, having grown children too, I get to see what homeschooling has meant to them. I see so many wonderful things in them. They have a great sense of family. They love being with their mom and their dad. They love being with their siblings. My oldest daughter is married now, and she still comes over and picks up the kids on a weekly basis and wants to spend time with them. And she loves spending time with us, and I think that was fostered through the time that we got to spend together as a family. And when you spend a lot of time with each other, you learn and get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you get to experience a lot of grace with one another. Academically, I get to see them doing well in college and adjusting to college very easily, and not having any problems, catching on to things, being organized and being able to keep their stuff together and turn things in on time. It's just a part of what was expected in our home, and I see that now that in their adult life, how it's helped them. And so I'm very thankful for that as well. So, our homeschooling journey has taken us through many things, and not all good. Some have been very difficult and struggling times. But even in the midst of that, one thing we always had was one another, and we always kept our eyes on the Lord. And so it's been a fun journey, and I can't wait to see what God continues to do through our years of homeschooling.